Hey everyone, here's another video update for Treasure Corals, and in today's video I'm gonna do a quick follow-up on the issue, pretty terrible issue I'm having with this particular aquarium. As you can see, a lot of corals, probably half of them are dead in my tank. I'll talk on what could have caused it as well as what I am doing about it. So let's take a quick step back. In the previous video, I've found that there was some problem happening with the tank. You can see a lot of you in the comments below have identified that this is actually dinoflagellates, and I remember, so thank you, and I remember actually dealing with them about 2-3 years ago. This is probably the second time in my 10+ years of keeping reefs that I've ran into them, and I'll talk a little bit about what could have caused it. But first, to anybody who's new to the hobby, this is what a dinoflagellates outbreak really looks like. So you've got these strains of the dinoflagellates that basically suffocate all the corals. They just kind of cover them, they smoosh them, and I did tons of water changes, and I think that was only making it worse. So what do I think happened? I think this is my RODI water. My TDS that's built into the RO system shows 0. Actually, we can see it right over here. So this is my RO system. You can see I changed my cartridges on October. Well, it says 2020, but I think I just made a mistake. No, it was 2020. Holy smokes. Yes. So in 2020, I changed them all, and I think this is where the silicone or whatever it is, silica, that's what really started to creep into the water column. So when I'm using this built-in unit, it actually shows 0. So right now this is not running, so that's why it shows 1, but when it's running it shows 0 on the out, and it was showing 0 on 0 on out and 1 on in. So basically it was just not accurate enough to catch it. Now, but when I use the TDS meter, which is this one here, this is what I use over my RO system, this thing shows 002. So there's 2 TDS. So what I'm doing, so I think what's happening when there's all of that good stuff in the water, it probably has attributed to providing lots of fuel to dinoflagellates. I think I was probably bringing down my nutrients a little bit too harshly, and something got out of whack, especially in such a small aquarium. So that's, I think, what really happened to the system, and this would explain why when I was doing these aggressive water changes, thinking that I'm going to lower the phosphates quickly and naturally by dilution, I think that was only fueling the dinoflagellates. So this is where we are at, and this is what I'm going to do about it. So first and foremost, thank you all for helping me identify it. Like I said, I should have known it, but I was just didn't think about it. And this is what I'm gonna do. Step number 1, thank you, Michael, for suggesting. I'm running UV, same UV that I used on my other system. So it comes in really handy. I just hooked it up. It's got a little pump. It's got water intake coming up like this, going in, it's running, and then it's coming down. So I'm gonna run it for probably a couple of days, and that would be step number 1. Step number 2, probably gonna remove some of this egg crate, try to minimize the amount of egg crate here, throw away anything that's no longer serving me, and I'll take some of my live rock that is cooking in my sump, and I'll just throw it in here, so add a little bit with the filtration. So that's step number 2. And then I'll just keep measuring parameters. I don't know whether I should be adding more nutrients or removing them. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna dose potassium nitrate because usually having some nitrates in the water would not be a bad thing. And I'm thinking that all the dinoflagellates is gonna really go after phosphates and get the nutrients out of whack. So I'm also changing all of my RO water, so which is here. So I'll do this today, and I'm draining currently the tank here. So, by the way, shout out to Reef Builders for suggesting putting the air filter, air source into the water column here. So I'm doing this right now for my RO water, and eventually I'm going to do the same for my salt water, but I haven't done it yet. Right now I have only one pump. I'm probably going to either split it or get a second one and just run it, and that's the idea. So once again, replace RO filters. So basically make sure that everything is at 0. Make sure that I also schedule my aquatic log reminder to probably check my TDS every 2-3 months, so I won't let it slide. Next, I'm gonna run the UV filter for a while and just monitor it. I'm thinking, and also adding more live rock, as well as getting some of these dinos out of the tank. Those are the 3 things I'm going to do, and probably also add some more nutrients. So that's number 4. If you think I'm missing something, or if you think there's a slightly better way to adjust this situation, please write in the comments below. Really appreciate it. This is one of those things, scenarios where I've shot one video and then the next day is going to be a second one, but I really appreciate everybody's help in this process. Now, a very quick update on my newly built calc reactor. So this thing, I really like. It kicks in every hour, then it just kind of comes down, and it's already been working quite well. You can actually see that even with all the mess that's happening here, my pH is at 833, which is probably on the higher side than it has ever been. So that's where I am at right now. My yellow tank is probably very happy that it's not in this messy aquarium. And that's really where we are for today. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of your comments, and hopefully in my next follow-up video we'll see whether those actions helped. So thank you and cheers.